Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Today we have the pleasure of having Dr. Ayaz Ul Haq Malik, who is a neurosurgeon based in Dallas or Garland, Texas, in the United States. He is a member of a group on WhatsApp, which is PASS, which stands for Pakistani American Surgical Society. And I had the pleasure of being introduced to Dr. Ayaz only yesterday when he reached out to me regarding his idea of collecting some stories and passing on some message to the other generation, and be curious to find what other people's thoughts would be on this topic. So he is originally from Pakistan. He came to the US many years ago, and the rest of the story I will let him tell. So, Dr. Ayaz, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Salik. Thank you for that introduction.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, I came to this country quite a while back. In fact, in 1973, actually. And I had graduated from medical school in Dhaka, which was East Pakistan at that time.
Yeah.
We were the last of the group, and then it became Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And which was 1970, and then I went to England for about 3 years. The idea was to pursue a career in neurosurgery, which is an interest of mine that developed during medical school days. Things didn't work out as planned in England. Their system of training, their method of selection was not something that I was comfortable with. So I came to the United States in 73. Did a year of general surgery as is required before getting into neurosurgery. And I completed my residency at the Medical College of Georgia in Augusta in 1980. And for a year, not knowing what to do and where to go, I had a wife and 3 children at the time, all of them in diapers. Trying to sort out what I was going to do, I took a job in the U.S. Army as a neurosurgeon and was there for about a year. After that, I was thinking about going back to Pakistan, which had been one of my intentions earlier on. And so got some finances together because I joined a practice here in Texas. And after, this was in 1982, and then in 84, I went to Pakistan and with the idea of establishing myself there. And before that, I had communicated with several of the facilities in Pakistan, in Karachi and Lahore and Islamabad, and didn't really get much of a response from any of those places. At that time, interestingly, there was a medical center that was being developed in Islamabad. And this was being done by the Army. And I forget the name of the gentleman. He was a brigadier, so-and-so, in charge of constructing this hospital with the help of financing from the Japanese government. And this was going to be a major medical center. We communicated for about a year. And remember, this was 1984, by the way. And the hospital was being constructed. So I went there. There was an Apna session being held in Hyderabad, Sindh at that time. So I participated in that and then flew to Islamabad. Met the general, the brigadier general, toured the hospital. It was being constructed at the time. I do not know what the name of the hospital is today, but anyway, at that time, got an appointment there to speak to the Minister of Health, who happened to be Brigadier Pal, P-A-L-L, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I met him the following morning. He was nice enough to meet with me. We chatted. And he really wanted to know why did I want to come back. His first questions to me were, well, you're not actually an FRCS. I said, no, sir, I was trained in the United States and we don't have FRCS there, but I'm board certified according to whatever our regulations are in this country, and I'm fully trained. And the hello?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The image is somewhat smaller at this point. Let me see. Yeah. So we sat and we talked for about 30 minutes, and then he turned around and tells his secretary, Chaudhry Saab, what can we do for this young man? He's looking for a job. Mm-hmm. And I, at that point, felt somewhat insulted. I got up, picked my briefcase, and I said, Brigadier Saab, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका कि आपने मेरा वक्त दिया, आपने अपना वक्त दिया, और ऐसा लगता है कि आपका और मेरा दोनों का वक्त ज़ाया हुआ इस वक्त. And I got up and I left and I took the next flight back to Karachi and then came back to my practice, which I was already practicing here in Dallas. Mm-hmm. And the rest is history. 40 years.
So how long were you there?
I'm sorry?
How long were you there in Pakistan? Yeah.
About a week.
That's all. Okay. So.
Well, I was disgusted. I really, the response, because my intention was, this was 1984. I was fully trained. I had some ideas about forming a practice, training some people to sort of, at that time, 84 in Pakistan, by my information, we had about 5 neurosurgeons in the country who I thought were very well, these were Canadian or American. No, there were no American. They were all British trained. In a country of over 200 million people. And there was definitely a need for neurosurgery at that time. And there was no question in my mind about that. And the response, I didn't go into detail about all the conversation that the Brigadier Paul had with me. It was, to say the least, somewhat condescending.
I can imagine.
He was more into my heritage and why did I go to Dhaka to practice, to study medicine? Why didn't I go to King Edward Medical School, which is one of the best in the country? And I don't disagree there. I mean, it is, but the fact of the matter was, then why did I not have an FRCS? Because that's what we are looking for. And then the last thing he said, which really got me, was he says, well, you're too young, and we need somebody who's a little bit more senior. Nonetheless, so I was disgusted. I said, thank you very much for your time, and came back. And so I established a practice, and mashallah, after 40 years, I retired in 2016.
I see.
And currently am retired. It'll be 10 years since I retired. And in this interim, I've done some volunteer work. I have gone back, especially to Karachi. We established a relationship with the civil hospital there and worked for a while, helped them with some instrumentation that they needed for their operating room and their ICUs and what have you. But other than that, I've had very little contact with that country. It's sad. It really is sad. But I bring that up because I think that there is a missed opportunity both on our part and on part of the country there to exploit the resources that they have available to them. And that's it. It was in that context that reading some of the text that has appeared on this PASS, group.
WhatsApp group.
There have been physicians who have gone back, and mashallah, specialists in, pediatric cardiothoracic surgery, oncology, orthopedic surgery, neurosurgery. So people have gone back and they have contributed to whatever they can in that country. And I just wanted to know what others, what the experience was of others now. I think the environment there has changed. I think they're much more receptive to ideas from abroad. Perhaps at that time they weren't, or maybe they were ignorant of the fact that this is something that they could have exploited. I mean, I don't know how many physicians there were in the 1980s from Pakistan when I was here, but there were quite a few.
Yeah.
I knew of 15 neurosurgeons in the 1980s. I'm sorry. Yes, in the 1980s, there were 15 of us from Pakistan practicing in the United States.
Yeah.
And these and as a good friend of mine, Ayaz Malik, who is from Detroit, we came to the country almost together. Ayaz Bhai was in Henry Ford. And in one of the meetings we had been talking about this, and he just sort of said to me, Ayaz, तुम्हें उस मुल्क की जरूरत जरूर है, उस मुल्क की तुम्हारी जरूरत नहीं है. And मैंने कहा नहीं, मैं जाके देखता हूँ क्या होता है. And I went and I came back and I met Ghaus Bhai at a meeting and I told him, and he said, मैंने तुमको कहा था कि तुमको उसकी जरूरत जरूर है उस मुल्क की तुम्हारी जरूरत, which is a sad thing, to be honest with you. I mean, mashallah, we have done very well in this country. I'm here in Dallas and we have I would say we have about 250 to 300 Pakistani physicians in this community here. और हम लोग बड़ी इज्जत से हैं यहाँ. We are very well respected. And mashallah, Dr. Saab, and I think I could say that without any hesitation, that as a community, as a Pakistani community, as a Pakistani physician community, we have a lot of respect in this country. Yeah. They do have a lot of respect. There's no question in my mind. And I think in some ways, I think it's a lost opportunity for the country, for Pakistan, to have not exploited that. So I was just looking through this dress and I wanted to know if others had a similar story and you know, is there some lessons to be learned from this? We're so many here. Mashallah, we're very comfortable, both financially, professionally. But there is still a little bit of a yearning back there somewhere. You know, kash ki humko bhi mauka diya jata. And so I posed this question online: how many have gone back? How many went back and then came back? Yeah. And what were their reasons for going, and what were their reasons for coming back, and what are their reasons for not going there? Yeah. And so that's the reason why I put up there. And then it's fortunate that I got in touch with you, and here we go.
Yeah. So I think by word of mouth, once we finish the podcast, I will post a link to this podcast within the group, and we should have you pose this question during the podcast now, as to, hey guys, here's an opportunity, a platform, let's get everybody's thoughts on there, and whoever wants to participate, then we can have those people on as guests. And ideally, we would have some from the U.S. and some from back home at the same time.
I would hope so. I would hope so. I think it'll be nice to have a discussion, a very open discussion about, members of our, not only surgical, but I would assume even the medical community here. Those who have come here and have done well, have established themselves professionally, but still have a little bit of a inkling, or perhaps a sense of disappointment, maybe a yearning to at least have explored the opportunity of going back. And then did they? And then if they did, what did they find?
Yeah.
Were they received well? Did they do well? Or then they came back? I mean, I can relate to you a story of a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, who was a neurologist. This is in the 80s. He went to Karachi.
Yeah.
और कराची में जाके उन्होंने he established himself as a very well respected neurologist. He was on the faculty of the university there teaching or private practice में भी थे. And then one day somebody comes to his office and says, you know, डॉक्टर साहब हमें पता है कि आप कहाँ रहते हैं, आपके कितने बच्चे हैं,
Ooh.
ये वो है, तो हम अगले हफ्ते आएंगे. And he named a sum of rupees कि हम, you know, we want from you. And my friend वो घर वापस गए, उन्होंने बीवी से कहा कि ऐसी ऐसी बात हुई है, pack your bags, we're leaving.
Yeah.
And he left.
Yeah.
उनके
Safely.
उनका and I know the story personally because जब वो वापस आए, he called me.
Hmm.
वो मेरे ही शहर से गए थे और मेरे ही शहर में आके वापस आ गए. उन्होंने कहा मैं गया था वापस. कहते
Yeah.
मगर जब आप मेरे बच्चों को थ्रेटन कर रहे हैं, मेरी बीवी को थ्रेटन कर रहे
Yeah.
हैं,
Oh, yeah.
you know, so why? And he had absolutely no help and no from the local community there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this story is not isolated. I'm sure there are other examples of that. So what we want actually, Doc Saab, using your platform that you have created here,
Yeah.
is an opportunity for us to get together and at least talk about this thing. Maybe
Yeah.
just raise some awareness, get some stories out there, and maybe, up to khair, mushkil hai mere liye, but there might be somebody out there young who is just starting out his career, who still has an inkling to go
Hmm.
back and contribute something to that country.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
might have, you know, he might have some reasons to think loud and say, कि ठीक है, you know, इतनों ने किया, मैं भी जाके देखता हूँ.
Yeah. I think that I've not even been back for 24 years. I don't know how things are, but I do indirectly know how things are because my parents are still there. They're older. My dad is 90, mom is 85, and they all have health issues. And when it does happen, it's very chaotic when they go to, and they live close to Aga Khan University Hospital in Karachi. So that's been their go-to hospital. So dad had a hip fracture. He's got dementia now. So it's frequent visits. But the continuity of care, even though they have a equal medical record system equal to the U.S., nobody reads into it. So every time it's like a new discovery. Repeat everything. Well, he just had, last month. Well, we don't have time to look past. So the equipment is available, the know-how is there, but the delivery, the bedside care, that's broken. So follow-up is so chaotic that I end up being their day-to-day physician. So mom and dad, my sister, they'll message me anytime, and that's fine, day and night for questions like, okay, well, his blood pressure is so and so. What do we do? Well, we can't get in touch with the doctor over there because they won't talk to you. Now they have some telehealth, but then it's a new physician who doesn't know anything about you. So it's easier just for me to be their doctor on a day-to-day basis. So, and the same thing in Lahore and Islamabad. All the equipment is there, advanced stuff, but most people cannot afford it. And if it's in the public health system, then it's not up to speed. Again, this is all indirect observation through me taking care of my family members in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
But there are success stories. One of my wife's classmates from her medical school, Aga Khan, he became a pediatric surgeon, pediatric surgery, not congenital cardiac, and rose through the ranks, became department chair somewhere in Florida, and he took a job as I think like dean of the medical school there, or department chair at Aga Khan University Hospital. So he's doing well over there. So I think the circumstances are always fluid, as you just related the stories. I had some experience as with the Army medical system. when the Army Medical School in Rawalpindi, I had applied to go there, and I found them very cliquey. Like they had a little concept of who belongs here, and if they judge that you're not that type, regardless of what your merit is, they're not going to hire you. It's entire. I mean, what does the world politics have to do with an interview for medical school? So but that's where the military is. I'm sure when you went, your previous history from Dhaka, having the the war happened, the military was very sour with the whole concept. So that put you at a disadvantage right there, I'm assuming. And then the whole mentality from the British Empire down was, when you're senior staff, everybody else just listens to you. There's no collegiality. So, I think it all just probably lined up. It was always England. It was always FRCS, even though the training is more comprehensive in the United States. So that's a fact. I originally wanted to go to England after medical school, but a friend of mine was doing FRCS there. But when I looked at the system there and in the U.S., as you mentioned, the system of graduate medical education and progressive enhancement of responsibility and experience and certain minimum requirements, and nobody's going to pass unless you meet that, it was really comprehensive. So I decided to change routes and then did my ECFMG and all that. So interesting. Any other thoughts? We're at 22 minutes. And
no, Dr. Shah, no, really, I endorse everything what you're saying here. But I think
yeah,
I think we can we can start a dialogue, and
yeah,
my hope is that somebody from Pakistan, specifically from Pakistan, somebody who is in a position to perhaps join in. He may not be a physician, but he may be somebody there who could maybe even give us some ideas as to what will it take to change.
yeah,
Perhaps change this idea. I mean, there is a tremendous amount of talent in the country, even today.
yeah,
And I can tell you that because I have gone back and I have spent some time at Civil. I have worked with the residents there, with the registrars and the doctors. They are a bright bunch of people. I mean, they are so eager to learn.
yeah.
They are hungry for the information. So don't tell me there is no talent there. There is
Yeah,
plenty of talent there.
yeah,
I think but we have to change the minds of those in power who, as you said, some feel threatened. I mean,
yeah,
Brigadier Pal telling me you're too young.
yeah,
I mean, this was a country in 84, 200 some million people, and you're telling me that you don't need this specialty in this country. You only had about five what I would call well-trained neurosurgeons in the
yeah,
country at that time.
yeah. In fact, if I recall now, I know
You're becoming a little bit hazy, Dr. Saba, not in focus anymore.
yeah, that's just related to the speed of the internet. It will be fine once
Maybe
we,
the internet. Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
I know of a surgeon in Colorado who's from Pakistan. He had a very lucrative practice around the Denver area, and he wanted to go back and serve the country. And he went to Lahore and Islamabad, and he encountered severe mistreatment. In people, they were threatened. Okay, here comes a young guy. He's healthy, he's energetic, and he's got polite manners. He's very good operatively, and a whole new approach, other than the the hierarchy system that the British kind of left there. Said, you're the junior guy, you can't be doing this, and you can't overshadow me and things
Yeah.
like that. So he completely got disgusted. He lasted a few months, but he said never again.
Then he came back. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So I mean, I would hope that in your podcast and what we are then doing, and I would even, it's up to you, of course, but I would even invite somebody from the government there, somebody from the health department there, to
sure,
come up and
sure,
say, maybe it was a missed opportunity. Maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's
yeah,
time to think things differently here, and that might give us, those of us who are here in this country, another reason to think again.
yeah.
Um,
I'm a member of several WhatsApp groups of doctors, all specialties, that were either at my boarding school at Lawrence College in Murray, or subsequently were colleagues from Sin Medical College where I went. And these people are all over. The whole diaspora is all over the world, including Australia, New Zealand, Middle East, Europe, Canada here. So, and then some are in Pakistan and government level jobs in the medical industry. So, so I can broadcast this information out to those groups. Say, hey, we're looking for people to answer the questions that you have just asked.
I think you'll be doing a valuable service, Doctor.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
all of this can be saved as a transcript, and those transcripts then can be used to publish a book, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the internet is not going anywhere. So, but then the book will be something to then we could add on to be a living book,
Yeah.
add chapters. So, so that's a interesting
Well,
idea.
Dr. Sam, I think I know you told me you were on your way to Pakistan. Have a very, very safe trip there, sir. And
Yeah,
inshallah, when you do get back,
yeah,
let's get back in touch. In the meantime, if it's okay with you, I was going to maybe summarize our discussion this morning in a short text and
yeah.
post it on PSS and see if we can invite some discussion from there.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure
Go
there
ahead.
are individuals, and let's see where this thing goes, because I really think that it's an opportunity for both, for those of us who are here in this country and
Yeah,
have a yearning to give something back, uh, and for that country
yeah.
to
So,
really exploit this resource here. I mean, other countries are doing it, Doctor. I mean,
yeah,
we don't want to get into the politics of all of this, but I have friends from other nationals from other countries uh, who have been welcomed back
yeah,
when they have gone back to their country.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I know from the general public that there is a huge need because as I explained, I take care of all my family in Pakistan. Some are in Germany, so that they need us, and I can often get a better answer for my family if they get a CAT scan or of an MRI before they ever see the doctor or get a report. I have them send me the images. I upload it on my group, and there may be a radiologist in England who's awake, and or in the Middle East who's awake and working, and they see it and they quickly read the scan, and they'll tell me, this is what's going on, and
Yeah.
within an hour I can get back to my family and say, everything's okay or something like that.
Yes.
So there is a need, definitely, and I think I might be going to the hospital to take my dad for some follow-up appointments if it comes to that or not. But I could reach out to some of the doctors there and ask this question while I'm there in their office, and we can have you on there. So it'll be
Sure.
you can ask those questions with someone, let's say at Alakhan or something like
Sure.
that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So do you want to add anything else?
No, not at all, Doctor. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for this opportunity.
yeah,
I want you to know you're doing a wonderful job here, and I think you have, you have some wonderful ideas. I think this is one way to get the word out.
yeah. And
So
there's
I would
another.
encourage you to continue doing what you're doing, and hopefully we can invite some more people to come forth and give their point of view. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm willing to listen to. I think there is this is a topic and a subject that perhaps we have not. We all are aware of it.
yeah,
I mean, I know, but maybe we need to go beyond just being aware of it and really
yeah,
talk about it. Why is it so?
yeah.
And if we can answer why is it so, then maybe we might be able to suggest, well, maybe it could be this, or
Hundred.
maybe there's an opportunity for
Yeah,
a solution to this problem, if we want a solution to this problem.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we'll let's finish it up here. I
All right.
really
Thank you very
enjoyed.
much, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
do suggest one thing, Dr. Malik, is that once I stop recording, that you don't disconnect right away because it takes a little few seconds for all the podcasts to be uploaded. So it will tell you on your side, upload completed. So don't
Okay.
disconnect until that happens.
Yeah,
All right.
my IT capabilities are very limited, Dr. So you'll
Are
have to
you?
have patience with me, please.
Yeah, you're doing well. So I'm going to end the recording, but
All
please
right.
stay on until I tell you. Okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
The office. Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.